Hey beauty, it's Ker-leen. Thank you for tuning back into my channel. In today's video, I will be sharing a haul that I did recently of some Middle Eastern or Arabic fragrances. If you're watching this video, I know that you probably have been sucked into the world of Middle Eastern fragrances, as have I, and that is what inspired this haul today. So if you're interested in seeing what I hauled and what I think about these fragrances, then please stay tuned. Hey friend, welcome back. Thank you so much for joining me for another video. I'm so excited to get into these fragrances with you all. But before we get started, to those of you who are new to the channel, on this channel I make videos on lifestyle, luxury. I do review videos to include fragrance reviews, and I also sprinkle in a little bit of my motherhood journey in my monthly vlogs. So if any of those things sound like your cup of tea, then please go ahead and hit that subscribe button, and also be sure to turn on that notification bell so you know exactly when my videos drop. All right, let's get into it. So I'm first going to start this video off by asking you a question. Do you currently own any Middle Eastern Arabic fragrances? If so, drop me a list down below of what is in your current collection. I would love to know. The first one is an honorable mention, so it's not a new one, but this is one that I've had for a while, and this fragrance was my very first Middle Eastern fragrance, I believe. And y'all, I love this fragrance. It is amazing, such a great value. And the one I'm talking about is Choco Musk by Al Rahab. You can get this for under $10 off of Amazon, I believe. I think tripletraders.com is another site that has a great extensive variety of Middle Eastern scents at an affordable price. But I picked mine up off of Amazon, and as you can see by the dent, I absolutely love this fragrance. When I first got this fragrance, it was not as potent as it is now, which is something that I have heard is pretty much standard with all Middle Eastern scents. When you get your fragrance, you want to spray it out. So you can go outside and spray it out. You can spray it, wherever you want, but just spray it out and then let it sit for a couple of weeks and come back to it if you do not like it initially, because these are mass-produced fragrances, and as a result they simply don't have enough time to sit and for all of the ingredients to come together for them to macerate. So it's really important that you not only allow oxygen into the bottle, but that you allow the fragrance to macerate before forming a judgment about it. But this one is one that smelled pretty good right away. I loved it as soon as I got it, but I feel like it's gotten so much better over time, and I think I've had this about a year now, I would say. And it smells so good. It smells a lot less powdery. I think at first it smelled more powdery, but now what I get from this scent is a very milky chocolate. And it also puts me in the mind of syrup on pancakes. There was one day where I was kind of craving something sweet. I have a sweet tooth, and I went and reached for this, and it gave me my fix. I was craving pancakes on that day, and this, y'all, this gave me my sweet fix without having to eat anything. So this is really, really yummy. It's just a very gourmand scent. It's very sweet, creamy. It's very chocolatey, but a milk chocolate, not a dark chocolate. It was more of like a powdered milk chocolate at first, but now I feel like it's more of a milky chocolate. It's gotten a little bit better over time. So this is Choco Musk by Al Rahab. Now let's get into the new stuff. I've shown this already on the channel. You all have seen it. I've done a dedicated review. I've done a short. This is going to be coming up in a fragrance combo video, and this is Lattafa's Kamra Kawa. Y'all, this is such an amazing scent. As far as value, you get your money's worth with this fragrance. I purchased this for around 40 some odd dollars off of Amazon, and this performs like an expensive niche fragrance. This is so good. I'll even share a combo with you in a moment here, or maybe two. Yeah, I'll share a couple combos with you all before we leave this video. But y'all, this is such an amazing scent. I don't know, when I first sprayed this, it gave me a little bit of a booze essence. There are no boozy notes in here. It's not boozy at all, but it did give me a little bit of a boozy vibe. And I think it's because of just the opening of this. In the opening, it was slightly boozy. You get a beautiful cinnamon. You get those sweet dried fruits at the mid. You get a praline. This gets so sticky sweet in a good way at the mid, and I absolutely adore the mid of this fragrance. And then you get a beautiful creamy sweet dry down, and this is just everything. It's amazing. There are no woods in this fragrance, which it has a body to it. It's very full bodied, as if there were woods in here, but there are no woods in this fragrance, at least not in the note breakdown. And then you get that coffee note, and for me the coffee really shines on the deep dry down of this. That's when I pick up the coffee. It's a very light coffee, but it is a very true Arabic smelling coffee, and I can say that confidently now because after I purchased this fragrance, I picked up some Arabic coffee, and y'all, it is so good. It is so good, and that is the scent that you get in this. So there is coffee in here, but if you are used to more Western versions of coffee, then you may not pick up the coffee note. I think if you can't pick up the coffee note, pick up some Arabic coffee or go to your local Middle Eastern restaurant and order some coffee, and you may find that you can pick up the coffee note in here after all. This is Kamra Kawa by Lattafa, and this is such a masterpiece. This is an amazing fragrance for such an affordable price, and if you could only pick up one of the fragrances from this haul today, from all of the fragrances I'm going to share with you, I would say pick this one up. If you could only pick one up, this one will do. It's the perfect fall and winter fragrance, so you get 2 seasons out of it, and it is such a steal. This lasts so long, especially on the clothes. Y'all, this lasted me to where I was catching whiffs of myself all day long. It projects very beautifully. You can smell it from 6 to 8 feet away, and it projects for the first several hours, and then it lasts all day on the clothes. So yeah, I can't say enough good things about this. This was a total blind buy success for me, and I am absolutely in love with this fragrance. It's so good. It is such a great value. I cannot say enough good things about it. I don't have the original, so I can't compare, but I've heard several people who have the original say that they prefer this one. So y'all, I would say pick this one up. If it goes bad, the worst that happens is you spent under $50. You can always resell this on Mercari and someone will pick this up. So yeah, this is amazing. So the next fragrance I picked up by Lattafa Pride is Ishq Al Shuyuk Gold. And this one was also available on Amazon. I picked it up off of Amazon, again, for under $50. This one is not a safe blind buy, okay? So do not blind buy this if you're new to the notes saffron, leather, suede. If you're new to those notes, do not pick this up. You probably won't like it. You need to get a sample first. I know you can find samples everywhere online, but don't pay too much for the sample because the full bottle itself is not expensive. So you shouldn't be paying more than like $15, maybe $20 for the sample. I hadn't seen the suggestions in the reviews that you should let this sit, you should spray it out and let it sit for a couple of weeks. So I went in and I sprayed it and I smelled it right away and I didn't like it. It took me a while, honestly, before I warmed up to this one. It was giving auto body, body shop, tire shop, repair, auto zone vibes when I first sprayed this. It smelled like fuel and it was just not pleasant. I was confused. I was confused with this one. I was not sure what was happening, what I was smelling, and if I had gotten like a bad batch or something. I looked at the packaging. This was packaged in August, I believe, August of 2023. So clearly I did not get a bad batch, but unlike Kamra Kawa, this one just did not smell good upon arrival. I had to spray it and let it sit. This is one that because of the notes, the ingredients in here, you have to let it macerate. First, you have to allow oxygen into the bottle, then let it macerate for a couple of weeks before coming to it, and just pretend that it's being shipped to you and you haven't gotten it yet. And then go back to it, pretend it just arrived on your doorstep, okay? So I had to do a rewind with this. We had to get reacquainted. And even now, It's been like a couple of weeks. It's been probably close to 3 weeks now. And even now, it's not quite, I'm still getting that very harsh opening. But man, has this transformed. This has completely changed. It's a different fragrance because I allowed it time to do its thing. I have some paper here that I'm going to spray it on. This fragrance, for me, what I'm getting from this fragrance is caramel, saffron, and a suede. Okay, so it's not like a full-blown harsh leather, but now, almost 3 weeks later, it is a very intoxicating caramel, saffron, and suede concoction. By the way, the reason why I'm not going over notes in this video is because sometimes the notes don't really tell you what you need to know about these Middle Eastern fragrances. It's best to hear someone's experience before even looking at the notes. But that's what I get from this one. This one, it has a masculine undertone. And what I mean by that is I think this is a unisex fragrance, but it has like this animalic undertone, this kind of masculine animalic undertone that makes it absolutely intoxicating. And I didn't realize how intoxicating this fragrance was until I sprayed it on my skin one day and I went about my business. I was like, oh, this opening is just, I can't. And so I was just, going about my day, and then I started catching whiffs of something that smelled really good. And then I smelled my arm and it was this fragrance. And indeed, this is what I was catching whiffs of. It smelled absolutely intoxicating. And that's when I first discovered that the dry down of this is everything. The dry down is everything. It is so beautiful, but not in like a pretty sort of ethereal way. This is like a very intoxicating and captivating and addictive fragrance. This is so good. Oh my goodness. This is such a beautiful scent. This smells like you mixed caramel sauce, a very dense, thick caramel sauce that's not overly sweet, by the way. This is not overly sweet at all, although it has sweetness to it. This is just a beautiful caramel. It's like you took a very thick, rich caramel and you sprinkled in saffron and you stirred it and you put it in some kind of cup or mug, and then you were reclined in like a brand new car, kind of smelling this cup of caramel and saffron while taking in the scent of the new car, that new car smell. And I say that new car smell because there's a suede leather accord in here, but it's not a harsh 100% leather made boots or belt or saddle. This is a soft leather suede accord. So picture a new car's leather scent. So currently that is what I'm getting from this. I'm not getting anything else at the moment. It smells absolutely intoxicating. The dry down on skin is everything. The dry down on your clothes is amazing. This doesn't last all day, but the initial spray, the first few hours, performs very beast mode like. If you do anything more than like 4 sprays, this projects so loudly. For those first 4 hours, 5 hours, people are going to smell you. You're going to smell yourself. You're going to have a presence to you with this one. But this is a complex scent, and it is also a scent that has notes that may intimidate some that may be new to Middle Eastern fragrances and new to fragrances in general. If you are any of those things, I would say do not start by blind buying this one. Get a sample because it's something you have to get used to. Your nose has to adjust for this one. By the way, my husband does like both of these. He quite enjoys when I have this one on. I get compliments right away. And this one, I've asked him what he thinks of it, and he enjoys this one as well. So people do enjoy these when they smell them on you. I think this one is definitely more crowd pleasing. And this one is one that you're gonna smell intoxicating and people are just gonna probably wonder what it is you have on. So for the next one, I'm clearly in the mood for warm, very wintry fragrances, and so I picked up French Coffee by Al Rahab. So French Coffee is a gorgeous scent, and it's everything I wanted it to be, except that it does not last very long. You will have to top up on this after 4 hours because it'll be hard for you to smell it on yourself. But besides that, this is such a gorgeous scent, and I love this scent. This is like probably up there with one of my favorites in this haul. So although this one is called French coffee, I feel like the coffee in here is actually a little bit of an Arabic coffee, like a Middle Eastern coffee blend. That's what I feel, but it is prepared like a cappuccino or a latte, in that you do have like a steamed milk component, you have like foam, it's very creamy, it's not like a deep dark coffee scent. It's not like the coffee in Kawa. The coffee in Kawa is like a deep dark coffee note, not a very strong coffee note, but it is a deep dark coffee with no milk added. This one, however, has milk added. There's a creamy element to this scent. It is such a beautiful scent. It is a feel-good scent. It's like a cozy scent. When you first spray this, you get a blast of coffee. Oh, this is so yummy. Like, this is so good. This is so good. So I love coffee. If you can't already tell, this gives me a coffee fix. So this smells like literal coffee, like a latte. I'm gonna spray this on some paper. By the way, all of these fragrances have really nice atomizers. Yeah, this is coffee. This is straight up, oh, straight up coffee, but there's a sweetness to this. And it's almost like there's a hint of a floral in here. It's like a sweetness that's not like pure sugar. The sweetness instead is like Splenda or like stevia. Like there's this aftertaste, and in this case after smell, if you will, from the sweetness. So it's not acting like a regular sugar. There's like an after smell to this, like stevia or Splenda or something like that, some sugar substitutes. On the opening of this, you get a blast of coffee. And then after that has passed, you still get the coffee. It still lingers, but it's not quite as from the bag. You're not smelling the coffee beans as much. It's more subdued and it gets more creamy after the first few minutes, I would say. So the blast of fresh ground coffee beans is right at the top of this, and then it quickly fades into still a coffee, but a coffee with creamer, a coffee with milk, a cream type of essence, like a latte or a cappuccino or something like that. And it doesn't smell like an iced coffee. This is hot coffee or warm coffee for sure. This even gets sweet to the point that it smells like there's something else in here, something sticky sweet like a maple syrup or a honey or a caramel sauce. It gets really, really sweet after the initial spray. This is gorgeous. I love this. The only thing that I would say is a con is that this does not last. This is not a beast mode performer. It's not going to project very loudly. It will project at first, but really after like the first hour or so, it's probably not going to be a big projector for you. And also it doesn't last all day. This is not an all day type of scent. This is more of a cozy, wear at home, top up throughout the day, layer with other scents type of fragrance. That's what I would use this for, and that's what I have used it for. So I'll share some layering combos with you all in just a moment, but we have one more fragrance. Oh, this is so good. So this is French Coffee by Al Rahab. So far I have two Al Rahab fragrances in this video. They are Choco Musk and French Coffee. And I would say that neither of them is long lasting, but they do smell amazing and very realistic for what they're supposed to smell like. Also, they're very affordable, the most affordable ones in this haul. Okay, so this last one is one that I picked up because for this particular fragrance, I want to get the original. Not now, because I live in Florida, and honestly, I don't know how much more of this cold weather we're gonna get. We've been getting a lot of cold weather. It's been so lovely, but that can change tomorrow. Tomorrow it can be 80 degrees. So because of that, I have other fragrances on my wish list, and this particular fragrance, I don't think I'm gonna be purchasing anytime soon. However, I did want to test out the DNA and find a dupe that I could enjoy for this short period of time that we get cold weather in my climate. So this next one is a dupe. So the fragrance I'm talking about is Grand Soir. Grand Soir is a fragrance that I initially did not, it wasn't on my radar when I first really started getting into my fragrance journey. My nose has developed and has changed over the course of time. And the TikTok girlies brought this fragrance to my attention because it has been very, very popular. So I went into Nordstrom and I smelled it again the other day, and I was like, yes, this is something I could see joining the collection very soon. When I was getting ready to do this Middle Eastern fragrance haul, I saw that there was this dupe, and this is Amber Grand by Paris Corner. It says Pandora Scents on the bottle, but this is Paris Corner. This is their interpretation of Grand Soir, and theirs is called Amber Grand. So I would say that Amber Grand is about 90% accurate, in my opinion, when it comes to the DNA of Grand Soir. I don't know that Grand Soir's DNA will ever be able to be 100% replicated, but I'm sure there are other dupes out there that may come closer than this one. This one though is very nice. So I think the big drawback with this one is that it does not last very long. Again, this is not a long-lasting fragrance. However, this is such a nice atomizer. So this one, oh, this is so good. This comes so close, y'all. So close to Grand Soir without having to drop the MFK money, okay? I think they nailed it in a lot of aspects. I think this one is missing that aromatic component that Grand Soir has. And I think that is because there's the absence of lavender in this one. So this one does not have lavender. This one consists of amber, vanilla, and labdanum, if I'm not mistaken. So the lavender that's extracted, I think, is why this one is not as aromatic. So if you found that Grand Soir was too masculine leaning, then you might enjoy this one because the lavender has been removed, which is probably why I myself find this a little more unisex than Grand Soir even. I think this one can be worn by anyone. It's not too sweet. Again, it's just amber, vanilla, labdanum, a very classic DNA, classic scent, very opulent smelling DNA. And I'm sure that you can think back to a time in your life when you smelled someone with this DNA. And more often than not, they were probably very well dressed, driving an expensive car at a fancy event or some such scenario. So this is a very beautiful scent, which is why I think a lot of women are gravitating towards it, because it just smells warm, inviting, opulent, and expensive smelling. So this is so good. And at first you get that labdanum and that amber, and then the more it dries down, the more you start getting that vanilla. But it's not a vanilla that's too sweet. This never gets too sweet. This is not like a sweet fragrance. It just has a natural sweetness to it because of the amber and the vanilla. The labdanum just gives this some extra body, extra base to that resinous feel that this fragrance has. So this is a very beautiful fragrance. It comes really close. It comes so close to Grand Soir. So this might be one to check out. I purchased this off of Amazon and it was very, very inexpensive. Probably one of the least inexpensive ones I have here. Although the prices of these do fluctuate depending on demand, so it could change. Now let's get into some combos. Remember how I said that Ishq Al Shuyuk Gold has a really harsh opening, but the dry down is beautiful? Well, what I did the other day is I paired it with French coffee. These two go surprisingly very well together. The French coffee kind of masked the opening of this fragrance, if you will, but because this doesn't last long, by the time this dissipates, you're left with that beautiful dry down of Ishq Al Shuyuk. So I really enjoyed this combo. I think it's especially beautiful in the fall and winter seasons if you want to try this out. I don't think they clashed with one another whatsoever. Even with a more complex DNA, this is very simplistic in the accords. You have caramel and saffron and like a suede accord, and I think those do not clash with a really sweet coffee and milk accord. So I think together the coffee, the milk, the sweetness, the caramel all really go well together, and it worked out. It worked out, y'all. I don't know how, but it worked out. This was intoxicating and sweet and delicious, and I absolutely loved this combo. This is such a good combo. If you have these two pair them together and let me know what you think. So the other combo was a combo that, did I wear this? Yeah, I think I wore it last weekend, and it was these two. So Lattafa's Khamra Kawa and Al Rahab's French Coffee. These two go really well together for obvious reasons. You have this sweet cinnamon, spicy, warm fragrance mixed with a sweet coffee cream type of note structure. I think the both of these pair very well together. Most of what you have in here you can imagine in a cup of coffee, and the reverse is true as well. You can imagine a cup of coffee paired with the praline, the cinnamon that's in here as well. This has cardamom. Middle Eastern coffee is known for being blended with cardamom, and I could definitely smell the cardamom in here with the coffee in here, and it was like having this beautifully fragrant cup of coffee and cream, and it was so delicious again, yet complex and very refined smelling, if you will. So I really did enjoy these two together. I think this turned out to be such an amazing pairing, and I'm definitely gonna do this again. I'll be back. If you all wanna see some more combos, some more combo suggestions, let me know, and I'll be back with another combo video. But for my last one for this video, I mixed Amber Grand with Khamra Kawa. And again, you can see why these two go together. This fragrance here just adds a layer of depth, in my opinion, to Khamra Kawa, because this is one of those standalone fragrances that does not need any help. But this one, what it did was it added a bit of labdanum essence, a bit of amber essence to this fragrance, and it just amps it up a little bit more, brings out the notes in Khamra Kawa a little bit better, and yeah, it just kind of creates something that's even more unique and even more beautiful and even more opulent. And this is a special occasion combo. If you're going to something like a winter wedding, a soiree, or something like that, a date night, this is a combo that smells absolutely expensive, and I really enjoyed this combo so much. This one is just such a unique fragrance on its own that is going to shine with whatever you pair it with. So adding this to it didn't change anything about it. This was just the one that stood out and shined the most in this combo. All right, friend, thank you so much for watching. If you're still here, go ahead and hit that like button, leave me an emoji so that I know you are here. Also, if you enjoy this kind of content, be sure to hit that subscribe button and join the family so you never miss another video. Before I go today, I wanted to encourage you a little bit. As we're in the beginning of 2024, I was listening to a sermon the other day, and what I left with from that sermon is something that really spoke to me. It's that we're all created in such different ways. In order to embrace who you are, you have to separate yourself from the pack. Embracing who you are sometimes means that you're going to be left out. It may appear as if you do not fit into whatever that circle is. And I've had this happen to me time and time again in my life. And I had to come to a point where I realized that God made me in such a unique way. He makes all of us so uniquely different that I would be doing a disservice to Him by not embracing my uniqueness and searching His Word, searching the Bible, trying to understand how I'm wired, engaging in self-love, self-discovery activities, journaling, exercising, taking care of my mental health. I would be doing a disservice to Him, my Creator, to not acknowledge my differences, what makes me unique. And in acknowledging these differences, that's when we truly begin to live on purpose and to live out our purpose. And I was listening to another Dr. Miles Monroe sermon / talk the other day. When we begin to learn who we are and develop who we are, learn our Creator, develop our gifts and talents, then we in turn develop something called value. And value is what brings opportunities and brings people. And lately, it's like this light bulb has been going off that the more I learn about my Creator, the more I learn about who I am, how He created me, the more I invest in myself and really hone my gifts, hone my skills, then the more all the things will be added unto me. So all the other things, all the opportunities in my career, the financial opportunities, all of that, that's when all those things are added onto us. So we have to kind of get the order right and not worry so much about fitting in or looking like everyone else or acting like the pack, because when we get the order right, that's when everything else follows. So I just wanted to encourage you with that today. Obviously, that is something that I myself am going to be reflecting on some more. So thank you so much for watching this video. I will see you in the next one very soon. Bye.